Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and we keep you up to date with the headlines. Vietnam's revolutionary press, a companion to revolutionary cause. General Phan Van Giang attends 22nd Shangri-La Dialogue. Red Journey 2025 sets goal to collect 100,000 blood units. On May the 30th in Hanoi, Mr. Trần Cẩm Tú, permanent member of the party's Central Committee Secretariat, delivered a keynote address at the National Scientific Conference held in celebration of the 100th anniversary of Vietnam's revolutionary press, June the 21st, 1925-2025.
The conference was hosted by the Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization in coordination with the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, the Vietnam Journalists Association, the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, and other relevant agencies. Mr. Trần Cẩm Tú stressed that the revolutionary press continues to serve as both a driving force and a key companion in the country's comprehensive reform. 100 papers by experts, scholars, researchers, journalists and media managers explored the scientific and practical significance of this milestone, focusing on the 5 main themes of the press supporting the fight for independence 1925 to 1945, the press during the resistance wars against the French colonialist and American imperialist, contributing to victory and national reunification, the press in the socialist construction and integration period, new context, challenges, and tasks for revolutionary journalism, and solutions for developing the press in the new era. We fight against evil to uphold the core values of our society. That demands continued dedication from journalists. In today's complex global landscape with digital media, multi-platform communication and AI, the party's leadership remains vital to ensure the press stays on track, helps maintain political stability, and strengthens national unity and public trust. With many insightful contributions, the conference was a scientific forum for exchanging experience and proposing directions for developing journalism in service of national development and defense in the new era.
Leading a senior delegation from Vietnam's Ministry of National Defense, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, is in Singapore to attend the 22nd Shangri-La Dialogue held from May the 30th to June the 1st. Vietnam's participation in this event reflects its active and proactive role and responsibility for regional and international issues. The presence of the Vietnamese senior officer also expresses Vietnam's goodwill in promoting friendly relations, cooperation and experience sharing with other countries in addressing common security challenges, while demonstrating Vietnam's support for the events co-organized by the Singapore Ministry of Defense and the International Institute for Strategic Studies. General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, is leading a senior delegation to the 22nd Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore. General Giang delivered a keynote speech at the event. On the sidelines, General Giang held high-level talks with counterparts from militaries as well as defense ministries of several countries, discussing measures to promote defense ties. This morning, the 22nd Shangri-La Dialogue convened its plenary sessions in Singapore. Leading the high-level delegation of the Vietnamese Ministry of National Defense, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, attended and delivered a speech during its second plenary session titled Ensuring Stability in a Competitive World.
Vietnam, he's also, as it happens,
in his remarks, General Phan Van Giang emphasized that ensuring stability in a competitive world is a fundamental prerequisite for building a peaceful, cooperative and prosperous world, serving the common interest of all nations and peoples. It is also an urgent imperative of our time. To achieve this, he proposed focusing on 4 key priorities. First, it is essential to strictly observe the fundamental principles of the United Nations Charter and international law, respecting commitment, equality, independence, sovereignty, and the legitimate interest of all countries, regardless of size or power. There should serve as the foundation for addressing international disputes and differences. He stressed that all disputes must be resolved by peaceful means with a complete rejection of the threat or use of force in international relations. These are also core principles underpinning Vietnam's foreign policy of independence and self-reliance and its national defense policy of four no's. Regarding the EC or the South China Sea internationally, Vietnam consistently advocates for peaceful settlement of disputes in accordance with the 1982 UNCLOS, fully and effectively implements the DOC and supports the early adoption of a practical, substantive COC to maintain peace, stability, and freedom of navigation and overflight in the region. Second, genuine goodwill and a shared desire for stability are essential to foster cooperation and shared development. Third, countries should promote constructive dialogue, share perspectives, ensure healthy competition, and develop and implement practical, effective cooperation mechanisms, both bilateral and multilateral. Fourth, international cooperation must be strengthened to address non-traditional security challenges, creating better conditions for managing traditional threats as well. General Phan Van Giang reaffirmed that Vietnam steadfastly pursues an independent foreign policy while proactively expanding and diversifying its external relations. Vietnam is a trusted friend, reliable partner, and responsible member of the international community. He shared that this year, Vietnam marks 50 years of national reunification and 80 years of National Day. As a nation that has endured great pain and losses from war, Vietnam deeply understands the value of peace, stability, cooperation, and development. Vietnam earnestly hopes to work with the international community to build a peaceful, prosperous, united, and cooperative world. Let us do all we can today, not only to leave a better world for future generations, but also to earn their admiration and trust in our sense of responsibility and wisdom. General Phan Van Giang's speech drew special attention and was warmly received by delegates, speakers, and international observers, affirming Vietnam's growing role in fostering peace, stability, and development in the region and the world.
The General Staff continues to direct the Home Military to strictly maintain combat readiness and stand by for search and rescue missions. This directive was stressed by General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, at the monthly briefing conference held on May the 30th in Hanoi. In May, the General Staff ensured the combat readiness of the Home Military, closely monitored the situation and effectively handled emerging scenarios to safeguard national sovereignty and maintain security nationwide. Units conducted training exercises, contests and sports events as scheduled. Force organization was adjusted and weapons and equipment were provided promptly. The plan to streamline and strengthen local military structures was implemented rigorously. Over 8,800 personnel and nearly 400 vehicles were deployed for search, rescue and forest fire response. For June, General Nguyễn Tân Cương tasked the General Staff with ensuring continued combat readiness, strengthening cyber information control, securing communications and cryptography, and preparing content for submission to the National Assembly. Units will organize the 2025 new recruits oath ceremony and train forces for the 80th anniversary parades of the August Revolution and National Day. He also urged increased IT application, digital transformation, and administrative reform, enhanced cyber security, and thorough preparation for the 80th anniversary of the General Staff's founding day. On May the 30th, the Prime Minister's Special Task Force to combat and repel crimes related to smuggling, trade fraud, counterfeit goods, led by Senior Lieutenant General Vo Minh Lương, Deputy Minister of National Defense and Deputy Head of National Steering Committee 389,
held a working session with leadership of An Giang Provincial People's Committee.
Senior Lieutenant General Von Minh Lương instructed local authorities to urgently issue a new directive reinforcing the province's efforts in this crackdown. The directive calls for a coordinated, decisive response across the entire political and administrative system. He urged the province to ramp up targeted inspections on essential commodities and ensure that no area is exempt from this inspection. He emphasized that all locations with potential risk or red flags must be thoroughly investigated, while violation must be strictly penalized. The local authorities are also urged to expand the use of information technology for monitoring, tracking and early detection of illegal activities, a movement calling for all citizens to engage in the fight against smuggling, trade fraud, counterfeit goods and intellectual property infringement should also be launched.
On May the 30th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, chaired a meeting with the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum Protection Command on task deployment after being reorganized.
Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến requested the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum Protection Command to fully and deeply understand the functions, requirements and tasks in the immediate and long-term future, while striving to build a revolutionary, disciplined, highly skilled and modern unit by 2030, as well as fully master the task of long-term preservation and absolute safety protection of President Ho Chi Minh's body.
Coming up next, Red Journey 2025 sets goal to collect 100,000 blood units. Vietnam gears up for first lychee exports to EU and US. Taking place in 48 provinces and cities over 2 months, the Red Journey 2025 expects to receive 100,000 units of blood, continuing the largest humanitarian journey nationwide. On May the 30th, the largest blood donation campaign in the country was launched in Hanoi.
The 13th National Red Journey will last from May the 30th to July the 30th in 48 provinces and cities. Notably, among the 48 localities, 5 provinces and cities have organized 13 consecutive Red Journeys, such as Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Lâm Đồng, Nghệ An and Thanh Hóa. It is expected that the Red Journey 2025 will receive about 100,000 blood units.
Lychee has officially entered its season in Vietnam now, with production expected to surge by 30% year-on-year. Known as both a national specialty and a major export fruit, lychees remain under constant pressure for swift consumption due to its short harvest season. This year, Hải Dương province, home to Vietnam's earliest ripening lychee growing area, is already gearing up for its initial consignments to some of the world's most demanding markets.
This factory has undergone a flurry of activity, ranging from processing to packaging, for nearly 15 tons of fresh lychees earmarked for export to France, the US and Japan. So far, the number of international buyers has doubled. Orders from France and Japan have also doubled. Importers from the US, Japan and France have visited the growing areas to inspect firsthand how the fruits are harvested, processed and packed, demonstrating Vietnamese lychee's popularity in the world market. Our customers require rigorous standards, so it is imperative for me to personally assess whether the products adhere to stringent safety and quality standards. Hải Dương expects to harvest around 65,000 tons of lychees this year, with a significant 70% slated for international export. Bolstered by early positive market signs, concerns regarding crop sales are anticipated to be minimal. Compared to many other agricultural producers, lychees may not take the lead in volume, yet has become Vietnam's key export fruit. The main crop, mostly in Bắc Giang, will begin its harvest season in mid-June. The agricultural sector predicts both a bumper crop and good prices this season.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.